The Galactic Council had always viewed humanity as the galaxy's newest and most primitive species. When Earth joined the interstellar community 3 centuries ago, the older races had welcomed them with condescending smiles and patronizing gestures. Humans were assigned to mining colonies on the outer rim, far from the civilized core worlds where the real decisions were made. Admiral Kane stood on the bridge of the Titan's Forge, watching the holographic display show thousands of ships moving in perfect formation around what appeared to be a massive asteroid. To any observer, the Kepler belt looked like nothing more than another unremarkable star system filled with rocky debris. The illusion had taken 200 years to perfect. Deception began during humanity's first decade in galactic society. While other species focused on elegant energy weapons and graceful starships, humans had been dismissed as crude tool users obsessed with kinetic weapons and brute force engineering. The Council's xenobiologists published papers describing humans as adequate laborers with limited creative potential. What they failed to understand was humanity's greatest strength, the ability to work in secret while appearing completely ordinary. Deep within the Kepler belt, humanity had been hollowing out asteroids and connecting them with massive superstructures. What looked like scattered space rocks were actually components of 7 planet-sized vessels, each one larger than Earth's moon. The engineering required had pushed human technology beyond anything the galaxy had seen, but they accomplished it using materials and methods that appeared primitive to outside observers. Dr. Morgan ran her hand along the smooth metal corridor that stretched for kilometers in every direction. The Titan's Forge alone housed 3 billion crew members, along with manufacturing facilities capable of producing entire fleets of conventional warships. Its sister ships, the Iron Mountain, Storm's End, Deep Forge, Starbreaker, Voidwalker, and Final Dawn, each served specialized functions in humanity's hidden navy. The breakthrough had come from studying ancient, human military doctrine. While other species fought wars with elegant formations and honorable single combat, humans understood that victory belonged to whoever could bring the most overwhelming force to bear at the decisive moment. They had spent 3 centuries building that force in absolute secrecy. Captain Ross reviewed the intelligence reports streaming in from across the galaxy. The hegemony had finally made their move, declaring war on the inferior species and demanding the dissolution of the Galactic Council. Their fleets were already burning worlds, confident that no force in the galaxy could challenge their technological superiority. The hegemony's ships were marvels of engineering, sleek vessels that could manipulate gravity, bend space-time, and channel stellar energy into devastating weapons. Their crews were enhanced beings who lived for millennia and possessed mental abilities that bordered on telepathy. They had conquered a dozen species over the past 1,000 years, and now they set their sights on total galactic domination. What they did not know was that humanity had been preparing for this exact scenario since their first day among the stars. Admiral Kane received the transmission from Earth Command with grim satisfaction. The hegemony had just destroyed the core world of New Geneva, home to 40 billion beings. The other Council species were in full retreat, their elegant ships no match for hegemony technology. Desperate pleas for assistance flooded the communication networks, but everyone knew the war was already lost. Everyone except humanity. The activation sequence began across all 7 planet ships simultaneously. Asteroid camouflage fell away like shed skin, revealing the true scope of humanity's secret project. Each vessel bristled with thousands of weapon emplacements, hangar bays that could launch entire armadas, and defensive systems that could withstand direct hits from stellar weapons. But the planet ships were not just vessels of war. They were mobile industrial bases, capable of constructing new fleets even during combat. Humanity had learned from every conflict in their violent history, understanding that wars were won by logistics and industrial capacity as much as by courage and technology. The hegemony's first encounter with humanity's true fleet occurred at The Battle of Crimson Nebula. A single human planet ship, the Storm's End, emerged from hyperspace to face 3 hegemony battle groups. The enemy commanders initially assumed they faced some kind of mobile space station and prepared to destroy it with minimal effort. They realized their mistake when Storm's End began launching ships, not dozens or hundreds, but thousands of vessels pouring from its hangar bays like an unstoppable tide. The human ships were crewed by hegemony standards, but there were so many of them that individual technological superiority became meaningless. The battle lasted 18 hours. When it ended, 3 hegemony fleets had been completely destroyed, and Storm's End had already begun constructing replacement ships for its own. Minimal losses. News of the impossible victory spread across the galaxy within days. Species that had written off humanity as primitive miners suddenly realized that the quiet workers they had ignored for 3 centuries possessed the largest and most advanced military force in galactic history. The remaining hegemony forces found themselves facing an enemy they could not comprehend. Every time they destroyed human ships, more appeared to take their place. Every victory proved temporary as planet-sized foundries continued producing new fleets. Humanity fought with a patience and persistence that wore down even their enhanced enemies. The war ended not with a dramatic final battle, but with simple exhaustion. The hegemony, having built their empire on quick conquests and technological intimidation, could not sustain a prolonged conflict against an enemy that treated each defeat as a learning opportunity and each victory as preparation for the next. Engagement. Admiral Kane stood once again on his bridge, now overlooking a galaxy at peace. The 7 planet ships had returned to their disguised positions in the Kepler belt, appearing once more as simple asteroids to casual observation. Humanity had saved the galaxy, but they had done so quietly, without fanfare or demand for recognition. Other species now spoke of humans with a mixture of awe and unease, finally understanding that they had completely misjudged Earth's children. But humanity simply returned to their work, mining asteroids and maintaining their equipment, preparing for whatever challenges the future might bring. After all, the galaxy was a dangerous place, and someone had to keep watch.